What's up, guys? We are going back at it. This one is the Pitbull. This is a 10 entry max, $20 entry. I think it's 100,000 in first place. It's pretty good. All right. We are drafting from the 7 because so we're kind of down here in no man's land. All right. You really want to be top 5, but we'll be looking at like Christian McCaffrey, Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, something like that. I'm very high on Amon-Ra this year. I think I have quite a bit of him already. So haven't gotten. Don't know if I've drafted McCaffrey, so he's up for consideration. But yep. So I don't hate 7. I don't love 7. I'm just kind of like whatever, right? It's kind of meh. I do prefer 7 to the turn. The turn is kind of like maybe not like from a power perspective or what your team didn't look like. It's just you're so incentivized to do double running back down here, which just means there's like you end up with the same rhythm of draft from the 10, 11, 12. So, you know, 7's not bad. 7 at least breaks that up. You know, it gives you some decision points and some creativity a little bit more than, 11, 12 for sure. Obviously, I think top 5 is where it's at. I think you get really good team construction when you're drafting in the top 5. Although the 2-3 turn also tends to be kind of shoot your shot territory. A little less defined. So this draft starts with a player taking James Cook out of the 1-1. I'm diehard Buffalo, and I do value Cook higher than Taylor or McCaffrey this year, but probably would still take them just given the ceiling. But Cook is amazing. I love this person saying, hey, Cook has been incredible the last few years, and they expected that incredibleness to continue. So basically, everybody gets a gift. We're one off here, and if one other person decides to overvalue one of these guys above Jackson Smith and Jigba, I will be starting with Jackson Smith and Jigba. As it were, I still may start with Amon-Ra here. Well, no, we're starting with Jackson Smith and Jigba. What a gift. So we did Jackson Smith and Jigba out of the 7th spot. I'm thrilled to have him out of that spot. We should get one of these running backs, the Derrick Henry up through Ashton Genty. We should absolutely. It'll be interesting to see if the 1-1 here continues on with get their guy mentality. And see, the thing about this is, like, if you want to prioritize James Cook, by all means, I do. But, oh, there we go. See, we see Hampton at 9. This is cool. Super cool. If you're going to do a few of these, just wait till you're down here to do that, because you're going to get a much, I don't know, maybe this is just original. Whoever he's going to pair Cook with, he's looking for an extremely unique build. But you'd have plenty of opportunity to grab, even if you're paying for Cook like in here, right? But yeah, it's just interesting. So I will draft enough of these this offseason that I won't be taking Cook out of the 1-1. I'll be taking Gibbs or Bijan Robinson, mostly because I expect to have higher exposure to Cook, because I do kind of push him up the ranks a little bit. And you basically have to get the 1 or 2 pick for Jahmyr Gibbs or Brian Robinson. And very occasionally, if someone values Jamar Chase or somebody else, you wind up with this, but it's okay. Okay, Jefferson through Lamb finish up the round 1 here. Marion Hampton did go, first. So we are, Barkley goes there. We got 4 more picks coming down our way, so we will get some smattering of this. Derrick Henry, I'm a little lower on this year, but I've been saying that every single freaking year that I'm lower on him. My dream here would be have Chase Brown fall. I'd really like Chase Brown. I don't think that'll happen, but we'll see. Did someone just take Derrick Henry? Wild. And HN. So I have, who went there? A.J. Brown. I will take Chase Brown all day over Kenneth Walker. Not super huge on Walker this year. Besides the Super Bowl, has Walker shown you to be the guy who can win you the lead? I just don't think so. So, right? Chase Brown actually did win me a lead last year. Once Burrow got healthy and that offense started clicking down the stretch, he came out of nowhere and really helped do it. Yeah, and Smith and Jigba was the lead winner as well. So I love our start of Njigba, Chase Brown. I think this is probably somewhat unique of a pairing, given that in Jibba's up here, typically in Brown's here. Maybe not super, super unique, but still very interested to see what happens here with the 1-2 with the 2-3 turn with the James Cook player. Which maybe just James Cook plus Rashi Rice Pickens or whoever he's going to take down here is just what he wanted to do. Or maybe he's going to reach on Allen and just assemble the Bills down there out of the 1-1. And be the Curly Fry Bills. I am thrilled with Jackson Smith-Njigba and Chase Brown. Over the moon with that start. Very happy. Very, very happy. Curly Fry on deck. What do you got? All right. Pulls Love up. I've been seeing Love go here at the beginning of the second, or sorry, beginning of the third, more than I've seen him in this end of the second, but that's fine. Who's he going to take here? He's going to punch in his first receiver. His Pickens would be next on ADP. Okay, cool. All right. Cook Love. Sure. All right. So coming back this way, again, once you start wide receiver running back, it opens you up to just do whatever you want. And we'll be looking at like ETN or Williams or Lave or Rashi Rice, or maybe we get to decide on Elite Neighbors, or maybe we pull up Javonte Williams. We'll see. Okay, McBride right there at the 26th spot on the 3-2. Then Olave. Okay. I think, honestly, if we get into this position, you can do one of two things. I can take Higgins here and pick up Joe Burrow, maybe even 57. What's Burrow's ADP? 66, yeah. Could do that. I also am pretty high on Javonte Williams. So if this player decides not to start robust RB, yeah, I'm going to go past Kyron Williams here, and I'm going to pick up Javonte Williams. Very happy to have him with Chase Brown. I think this is a sneakily good backfield. And this will look to set us up well now. We can just start jamming receivers, and we actually have an anchor in Smith-Njigba. Now, interestingly enough, there's two other running backs I'm super high on this year, which is Stadabo and Quishon Judkins. I think that if you look contextually at their seasons last year, their end of the year score, obviously for Cam Stadabo, but for Judkins, including what happened there, you have to kind of look at when everything was right, when everything was healthy, and when the team was doing its thing that it should do. What did these guys look like? And Stadabo and Judkins were very good, very good. So small sample size, I know, but there's not a whole lot of reason to think that either of those teams is going backwards. In fact, I think the Giants got a lot better. A lot better. They got better. And Cleveland's probably going to be the same, but Judkins was fine in that offense, even when as tragic as they were. So, okay, the Higgins player takes Allen, so that's interesting. The Lamb Higgins player takes Allen here when they absolutely could have gotten Prescott later on or Burrow in there, so that's interesting. Chase player almost certainly will take Burrow, but would have to either wait for Burrow to fall here or take him proactively here. So this sets us up well. Yeah, so there's Stadabo. So if he falls here, we might take him. And then I'm just going to be off of running back. It's probably a 4 RB build. Yeah, he falls. I'm taking him. 100%. Happy to have him in this round. Think he can be a top 10 back this year. I think all three of these guys can be top 10 backs. I think that, their ceilings are somewhere in the 5 to 8 range. And if I have two out of the three of them hit, we're in good shape. So now we do need to start prioritizing wide receiver. From the 5-7, which is pick 55, right? You probably won't see any of these guys. Devontae Adams may drop. More might. I like Watson. I like Odunze. I like Tate. So probably get one of them. We're going to be off running back for a while now because we kind of staked our claim here after going in Jigba. But based on the way I play, I have my redraft leagues structured. I'm a very huge running back purist. I tend to lean into running backs early. So I know in these drafts, because of the way team construction is, where you field 3 wide receivers plus a flex, you really need to pick up a lot of receivers and make sure your wide receiver room is good. But look at our backfield compared to the board. Hampton HN is good. I'll give him that. But would you rather Smith and Jigba in our backfield or Neighbors McMillan in his backfield? I think I'm picking them because I think they're the closest. I think everyone else, I would take our start through four over anyone else's. Robinson, Collins, Olave, Evans is actually pretty good. I think that's a pretty good start, but they're going to have to start really jamming running back here soon, unless they're going to go with that sort of hero RB build, which Team 2 is doing. But I feel much, much better where we are. Bucky Irving, interesting. So yeah, I can't imagine taking Bucky Irving with all the questions around what that backfield's going to look like with Tucker and Gainwell down there now over Quishon Judkins, where you're just going to have him running the football. I mean, wow, if we went Judkins here, oh man, that would make our second wide receiver so much worse than some of these guys, and we could absolutely just stop at four. If this player doesn't take Judkins, this would be it. We would just take these four and be done. But you only field three of them. Well, he takes Judkins, so that makes it easy. Of these guys, I think I'm going to lean into Roma Dunze. Watson and Dunze are pretty relatively close to me, and I like Tate a lot, but I think Dunze has great upside. I know that there's a lot of Luther Burden hype, and I know that Colston Loveland is a huge target consideration too. Which, that being said, I missed it. Where did Loveland go? Oh, right down here. Okay, so This player is probably looking at both Dak Prescott and Caleb Williams, and one alternative or the other. We wouldn't mind Caleb Williams with a Dunze, but we don't really have a preference right now. So we might look to do some late back stacking. Like if we can get, Godwin, we'll look for Mayfield. If Carnell Tate wheels, which I don't think he will, we'll look for Cam. If we wind up with Tyson, we could grab Shard off the Olave player. Um, yeah, lots of options here. We're coming back through for ADP for us. If we wanted to reach on a Williams, his ADP is 71, and we are picking at 66. But we're not going to we're ahead of schedule if we take him here, which we can do that though. Our wide receiver options, I will take one of these wide receivers if they're available. I don't love Marvin Harrison. I don't love Parker Washington. I don't mind some of these guys. So yeah, so maybe we take Caleb Williams here. Go for the stack. Yeah, let's do it. Let's push up Caleb Williams. I'm okay doing it. Our wide receiver room will suffer a little bit, but now we have a stack, right, that looks really good. And I'm sure the Loveland player is like WTF right now, but where's the Burden player? Where is Burden? Oh, Jackson Daniels when you have Jefferson. Like, I would really want to put Kyler Murray, but when you go Jackson Daniels, you don't touch, and you got Lad McConkey. So they won't touch quarterback. They shouldn't touch quarterback again. That's kind of weird. But we're looking for Burden. Shouldn't he be somewhere in here? Oh, we sniped the Burden player by one pick. Look at that. I didn't even pay attention to that. We sniped him by one pick. So Caleb Williams probably would have gone there. Or maybe not. They might have put their time back in. Okay, so we're going to be out of the 7-7, which is ADP 79-ish. So we go to the wide receivers and look at 79. Maybe we did a QJ. Alec Pierce, I'm a little lower on with some of the news coming out of camp for him right now, but Sutton, Jaden Reed is great. Jordan Addison's good. I'm happy with any of these receivers. We should have our pick of some of these guys. I actually may go Jaden Reed over Cortland Sutton. I'd like QJ to drop, but he hasn't been. He's been rising considerably. So the Pickens player takes May. The Chase player passes Burrow here to pick up Parker Washington, which that actually does make sense after they went tight end, running back, running back, running back. But I mean, this is kind of similar to what we did. We only have two wide receivers through six, so us and the four team here are just gonna have to jam wide receiver infinitely now. Metcalf goes off the board. So is QJ gonna fall? Jaden Warren. Then he's interested. Pierce, I'll do it. We're taking Quentin Johnson all day. Now, with taking Quentin Johnson, Herbert's is 82. We shouldn't get him back here at 90. But the McConkey player already has two quarterbacks. So Prescott goes to the no Prescott folks. The two quarterbacks take Hubbard. That's the smart move. So if I'm one of these guys down here, yeah, Herbert's nice. He looks great, but he doesn't stand up. I mean, you've got this team's got Tyson and Buka and St. Brown, right? So they're kind of incentivized to be looking later at quarterbacks. Goff goes over Herbert, craziness. They've already got Allen, so they're behind a both running back and wide receiver. But I guess both these have opportunity. If we get Herbert here, I'm absolutely taking him, and then we'll have a Dunze with Williams, Herbert with Quincy Johnson. I don't think that's going to happen. This team doesn't have a QB either yet. But again, they've got Sutton, Thomas. I guess AJ Brown and Zay Flowers are off the board. Okay, Dowdle goes. Like that pick. Love that pick actually. Addison. I mean, we could grab Godwin, but if we get the chance to take Herbert here and just be, you know, two um, two quarterbacks, and because that's would be it. We just have a two quarterback build, and we might be able to stick with four running backs, especially if we don't wait till the absolute bottom of the barrel. T Law goes to the wow. Okay, so we get him. So we're just in for this. We have Quentin Johnson with Justin Herbert and Roma Dunze with Caleb Williams, and our back. You also have Smith and Jigba. So our team construction right now is Caleb Williams, Justin Herbert, Brown, Williams, Stadabo, Njigba, Odunze, Quentin Johnson. I love it. Again, we are a little behind at wide receiver, but I like our room so far. So now we're just going to hit wide receiver forever. We are in that range of 103. So if we go here and look down in the 103 range, we'll be looking at Parasol, Jacoby Myers, Pittman, Golden. I like him too. So we'll look to get one of those guys. I don't mind Gainwell as a play this year. Maybe we'll grab our last running back on the way through because if we go full running back, what we want to make sure is that our fourth running back out of these three isn't last round Kamoni Vidal. Kamani Vidal. You want to make sure if you're going to go four, it's just the same thing with QB. At least this is how I feel. This is what I've seen working right. If you're going to go two QBs, it can't be one elite QB and then a just complete dust quarterback at the end, right? You probably want to grab two, I don't want to say premium ones. Like, I don't know that, I mean, Williams is a premium quarterback, but these are relatively elite options, and I'm doubled up. So I can count on production here consistently, and I don't think they share bias. Do they? They don't. We're great. So I really don't know the bye weeks as well as I should at this point in the offseason. And so I kind of don't pay attention to that when I draft, but right now, if Parasol makes it back to us, we are going to take him for sure. Um, I think Jacoby Myers is fine. I think that there's just a congested offense over there with BTJ and Parker Washington. Their backfield's kind of crap, so they should be throwing the ball. And I think Trevor Lawrence is great. Parasol goes. But Myers and Golden are kind of the same to me. So, you know what? I don't think I have any Jacoby Myers. I guess we'll take them. I don't love that pick, but that's fine. And then on the turnaround, let's look to maybe grab Concepcion. Um, there's also Higgins. We're gonna want to grab one of our wide receivers here. And I say this because even though I would like a Gainwell or Rashad White, basically what I was saying, Aaron Jones, for me, of these last guys, like Mason is still fine. Rodriguez, Tracy, like they're fine as the fourth RB. I don't want to go much beyond that. But with our wide receiver room only having four receivers at this point, the other thing is though, there's once you get back to the back end of the board, the wide receivers do open back up again, and they're kind of all the same guys, so you get good value down there. I just think, you know, I'm hoping Concepcion falls to us. His ADP is 117, and we are at 114, so we should be okay to get him. And then maybe hit running back on the way back, and then we're done with running back. We're done with quarterback, and we're just going to hit wide receiver late or tight end late and just go with a pile of trash. So the Addison player does turn around and pick up Murray. Um, the Wilson player picks a Golden player picks up Love. Uh, Clifton Fannin. I guess maybe they're done doing that. JK Gainwell coming through. Feeling pretty good about Concepcion if he gets to me. Looks like Kittle is trending. He does not. I'm going to say Kittle is trending to play. But if we pass on wide receiver here, I think we're in deep trouble. Which one of these guys? You know what? Let's take Dobbs. I wonder what that's going to look like in New England. And I think that he can have some touchdown potential. And if you just have these guys, if we say, hey, these are our three wide receivers, right? We're gonna be starting them. If Quinton's not doing it, maybe that's the week Dobbs does or Myers or whatever. Okay, on the way back through, again, we're gonna be drafting from 127 ADP. So if we look at running backs in 127, you'd have like Rodriguez, Tracy, maybe Jordan Mason. That looks fine. I don't want Keaton Mitchell. I don't really want Woody Marks. I like Jonah Coleman, but he's going at 153, which means if we look down here, we might be able to get Jonah Coleman down here. So we'll see how that goes. Wouldn't reach on him there. From a wide receiver perspective, I don't want any more Stephon Diggs. I guess maybe Travis Hunter, but we already have Jacoby Myers, Omar Cooper potentially, Jalen McMillan, I suppose, Jawan Jennings, I suppose, Jalen Naylor. So we'll see. We'll see what gets to us. If we do get a running back here, we'll be absolutely done on running back, and then we can continue. So we would go with like a 2-4-3, 7 build, 8 build. 2, 4, 6. 3 is 9. Be a 9 build. They'd be a 9 wide receiver build. Interesting, right? Am I doing my math here right? 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs is 6, 3 tight ends makes 9, 18 positions. Yeah, that'd be 9. So we'll see. Shug, love him this year. Love him this year. Higgins, don't love Coker. Don't really want that offense. Don't know where Diggs is going to be, if he's going to be somewhere. Um, but I might be able to hit McMillan or Jawan Jennings on the way back. So maybe it is running back land here. Maybe we just queue up some smattering of these guys. No, we don't want that. Chris Rodriguez. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'll grab some running backs on the way back through. From a maybe I can target Gatson later with Herbert. Tyron Tracy goes. I know White's up there now. So which one of these three guys do I want? You know what? Let's grab Corey Crossman Merritt. I don't have any Bill on any of my teams. I think it's the first time I've touched him so far. We'll take these off. So we're probably done at running back, done at quarterback. Grab 3 more tight ends. Where is Gatson going? He's going to 145. All right. So if we want Gatson, we've got to take him here. We probably won't get him here. Chelsea and Warren, Bowers. They've got Mayfield, so maybe they're going for odd. And Kittle with Purdy, it's pretty good. McBride. So they all have 1. Okay. Let's see. What's a wide receiver pool look like here? Yeah, I do like Cooper. Don't really love Jets players, but he might, for the price, might be one of the best. I guess maybe Jawan Jennings, Jaden Naylor. All these guys are fine. Boston's at 156. Flournoy's fine. Judy Bernard. Yeah. All right. We're on the clock. Tight end. Let's grab Gatson. Get our first tight end. So we'll get one of these receivers. I'm just going to keep stacking receivers here. We should get one of these receivers come back through. I guess Tucker's okay. Let's keep going. Devo Samuel? No idea. Dribbling maybe, or Tesla. Not super huge on Tesla. Dribbling. Branch. Ayuk is just not taking any more of him after the last bit of information that's coming out. Just all of these are kind of the same and okay. So tight end wise, I don't know if we also want to grab Njoku. Um, I don't think that makes a lot of sense, but I think like Juwan Johnson is something we want to consider. I think he has that some pretty good upside, so I'll get him in the mix here. So we'll just see what this spills out like. Although this McBride player probably takes Juwan Johnson here, right? With Shug. Malik Willis to the May player. Loveland, Tucker. So we only have 5 wide receivers. We definitely need at least 8. It's probably 8 or 9. I don't know. If we go with 8, um, then we can pick up another running back. So we'll see. I guess that is a consideration. Who's up in running back land now? Oh, there is a Coleman there. All right, so actually, I like Jonah Coleman. I think he's sneaky this year. So, given his ADP right now at 153, if he does fall to us at 151, yeah, we'll go 5. We'll go 8 wide receivers. See if that actually happens. Because again, to me, all of these guys are the same. All these wide receivers are the same, right? They really are. They're all the same guy. All right, Coleman falls to us, so we are going to take our 5th running back, and now we're definitely not taking any more. We're fine there. Um, we'll at least jam 3 more receivers and 2 more tight ends. We don't need another quarterback, so we have 3 more receivers, 2 more tight ends, and we're done. Right? So it'll be a 2-5-8-3 build. Coming back around here, I'll grab one of these guys. I guess you can put Hunter Henry in the mix. I think he has sneaky potential on a week-to-week basis of being pretty decent. So Jennings, Boston, any of these wide receivers I'm more interested in than one of these tight ends. Tight end wise, put Helm in the mix, put Fryermuth in the mix, just put Ott in the mix. There's still a ton of decent tight ends. So maybe when I say decent, like serviceable, Naylor goes there. So maybe pull Bernard up. Maybe pull Davian Wicks up. That he's going to have a couple of weeks where you want him in the roster. Then Flournoy sneakily to do the same up there. Top ADP is one of these tight ends right now. I guess we could take one. Actually, I think I'm probably inclined to take Flournoy if he doesn't get taken. Yeah, seems good. Okay. And we need 2 more tight ends and 2 more wide receivers, and that'll put us at a 2-5-8-3. With these quarterbacks in this backfield, I feel pretty good about it. And then our wide receiver core is probably the weakest part of our team, but we do have an anchor wide receiver, so feels pretty good. Feels very good actually. So coming back around, we're off running back. Not paying any attention to any of them. We'll just I don't mind Dylan Sampson, but I'm not going with 6. We need the wide receivers and we need the so just Schultz is top of ADP. He goes there, or from the guys I have. Barner. I actually probably will take Barner. I think, if you're just looking for, well, he's not going to make it back. If you're looking for guys who are going to score touchdowns, there's designs for him to score touchdowns, and you don't find that as prevalent with everyone else. Okay, we have reached the Algier Spears portion of our programming. Charbonnet off the board. What did one end up doing? All right, so they have 5 running backs after taking Cook, Lovett, and then what did 2 end up doing? They went Gibbs, Corum, White, Marks, Algier. So they do it with 5 after ignoring it forever. Interesting. Interesting. So they're just expecting Gibbs to do double time, which I mean, it makes sense. It totally makes sense. And then their wide receiver group is really good with Smith, Williams, and Adams as their top 3, plus Makai Lemon, plus Trey McBride. It's pretty good. The neighbors McVille and Watson tape player I think is good too, but they ended up going Prescott, Lawrence instead of looking to grab Cam Ward late. Did they grab Cam Ward late? They did not. Super weird. All right, Barner goes. Hmm. We'll take Jeremy Bernard. It's fine. Then we'll grab one of these on the way back. So we're inching our way up now. Don't hate my wide receiver room. It does drop off after Quentin Johnson, but the fact that we have Johnson and Adunze stacked is pretty good. Did Darnold already go off the board? Yeah, he did. I don't need another quarterback anyway, but I mean, I don't think Darnold's the one you want either. All right, so Fryermuth, K. Dotton. Don't want any of these guys. I'd like to get one of those too. Stowers is interesting. Giuseppe is interesting. Probably get Giuseppe here on the way back through if we don't catch him going up. So Judy's above Dontavian Wicks. Okay. I don't think it really matters. Again, down here it's the same guy. Tony Williams, Cooper Kupp. Oh, the Jackson Daniels player also went with Dart. Interesting. After we take this pick, which is going to be actually Greb Muth, and then we'll get one of these guys on the way back through. Oh, Sean Tucker's sitting down there too. Okay, so when you look at this player right here, who went with Jackson and Daniels and Dart, and then pretty much, no, not pretty much, from rounds 5 to 12, they didn't touch wide receiver, and they only got 2 receivers in the first 4 rounds. So this team right here got 2 receivers through the first 12 rounds. I think that is tough sledding. And for it, they do have Derrick Henry's and Kyron Williams, Justin Jefferson, Lambert Conti, but then not touching wide receiver and not grabbing either of the stacks is wild, right? They didn't grab Murray or McConkey. So and they got 4 tight ends. That's super wild. Super wild. Jackson Dart, I wonder if they were auto drafting. I mean, I don't think they were, but not with maybe, certainly not for Henry. Maybe for Williams. Maybe this is where the auto draft chipped in. I don't know. Because this is just insanity. This team at least hammered 4 wide receivers before completely ignoring it 7 through 14. But how are we doing on the? Yeah, any of these are fine. Fine options. Hurst, Mooney. Destecki, if we're going him last. We'll just take whoever. Also grabbing Joko and just have. Yeah, we can do that. Where are my tight ends for bye weeks? Okay, we're fine. In case we wanted to grab Joko. Grab one of these receivers. You know, Ray Davis is someone I got to put on my radar as if Cook goes down this year, Ray Davis I think steps in immediately. Oh, Gesicki goes, and it just goes wild. I guess if we have to down here, Parkinson's fine. Evan Ingram, I suppose. We're gonna grab one of these receivers. It's gonna be either Wicks or Tank Dell. Hurst goes, great. We'll take Dontavian Wicks. And then let's get these off the board because we've got our 8 wide receivers, and we're just going to pick up our 3rd tight end here, which will just be one of these guys. Stowers, Parkinson, Engram. Is there any other we want? I don't think so. I think once you get into this range, it's just not It's not good. So we should be able, given how many tight ends went in here, right, to these teams, we should be able to get our pick to these guys. Njoku, Hawkinson, likely. The likely player did not get Dart. I guess this is wild to me. This has to be auto drafting, right? Um, yeah. Taylor, Walker, Rice, Burton, Judkins, Warren, Pierce, Mahomes, Pearsall, Kelsey, Tracy, Jones. Don't love that thing. The player is Matt Stafford and Cam Ward grabs Tua. Then that's going to be tough. He did get Matt Stafford with Nakua, and he's got Tua with London. But if he doesn't pick up Penix on the way back here, I don't even know that that's. Who knows what's going to happen with those guys this year? I don't think anybody knows. I think that team doesn't even know what's going to happen. I think it's going to be an experiment. We're all going to witness it firsthand. So I think that's just tough. Let's see. Let's see when they go back by if they also grab Penix, trying to hedge their bet there and just say I'm going to get the die throw into um, London. So receiver wise, one, two, three, four, five, six. They only have six receivers. Yes, they got Puka and London off the bat, but I still, yeah, I guess you could do that. All right, we get which one of these guys do I want? I'm gonna take Parkinson, and we are done. And I just want to see if the Tua player takes Penix or just knows something we don't know, because the Falcons might want to call him. Snarrow Zero's right after us. Takes Penix. Yeah, thought that was right. So just decided they were going to grab both. That's a strategy. You can get that. And now they just always basically have London's thrower regardless. Pretty good. Okay, so we ended up with 2583, Caleb Williams, Justin Herbert, Chase Brown, Javonte Williams, Stedabo, Prosty Merritt, and Coleman for a backfield. In Jidba, Adunze stacked with Caleb Williams, Quentin Johnson stacked with Justin Herbert, Myers, Dobbs, Flournoy, Bernard, Dontavian Wicks, and Gatson, Parkinson, and Fryermuth. I like the team. I think it's a good first entry in the Pitbull. We're going to jam another one of these. Thank you guys very much for stopping by. If you like the content, please hit the like and the subscribe button. It would help me greatly as I try to build this channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot.